Today, we're going to tackle a paradox, one that sits right at the heart of the Indian workplace. It's this hidden force that quietly shapes careers, teams, and even entire companies. And it all starts with a simple, yet pretty stark contrast.
Okay, just picture this for a second. On one side, you have the unbelievable energy of a roaring stadium. We're talking thousands of fans just full of passion, screaming for their hero. But then, on the other side, a corporate boardroom. The exact same brilliant, passionate people are suddenly silent, kind of hesitant to share their best ideas. So why? Why does the person who absolutely roars in the stadium whisper in the meeting room?
And that question, well, it brings us to the core idea we're digging into today. The issue in so many Indian workplaces isn't a lack of talent or skill or even ambition. The real problem is that for so many of us, confidence isn't something we own, it's something we borrow.
So, what in the world does it mean to borrow your belief? Let's break down this diagnosis, because really, understanding this is the absolute first step for any leader who wants to unlock the real potential sitting in their team.
And listen, this isn't just some theory. It's a clear pattern that's shown up again and again in over 6,000 coaching sessions with professionals right here in India. This is a huge, widespread thing hiding in plain sight.
Let's give it a name: borrowed confidence. Think of it like this. You're outsourcing your own self-belief. Instead of building it from the inside, you're pegging it to someone else, maybe a movie star, a famous CEO, or that really charismatic guru boss in your office. Your feeling of being good enough comes from them. And this leads right to the next piece of the puzzle, something called vicarious agency. It's this super limiting mindset where you think, okay, I'll move, but only when my hero approves, or I'll speak up, but only after the boss gives me the nod. Your own ability to act, your agency, it becomes totally dependent on someone else's green light. So, how does this actually play out in a team? Well, as a leader, you can literally map it out. Let's take a look at a really simple but powerful framework to help you see the different belief systems at play in your organization.
This is the self-belief matrix. Up in the top left, you've got your grounded achievers. They're confident, they're vocal, they get things done. Over in the top right are the quietly self-led. These folks have a really deep self-belief, but they might not be the loudest person in the room. Now, bottom left, you see the borrowed confidence followers. They look super energetic, but they rely on a leader for their drive. And finally, down in the bottom right, you have the stuck and invisible, who are really missing both that internal and external validation.
And here is the critical mistake so many companies make. They over-reward those loud, enthusiastic, borrowed confidence followers because, hey, their loyalty looks so fierce. But while they're doing that, they often overlook and quietly lose their truly innovative, quietly self-led people. You know, the ones who don't need a pat on the back every 5 minutes to do amazing work.
Now for the good news. This can absolutely be changed, but it takes a different kind of approach. Something much deeper than your average skills workshop. The solution is all about coaching for core identity.
You see, traditional skills training focuses on what you do, how to build a better spreadsheet, how to run a project, and that's all important stuff. But identity-level coaching, that goes deeper. It focuses on who you are. It helps a person build their self-belief from the inside out, so it's not dependent on anyone else's approval. The ultimate goal here is a huge cultural shift. It's about moving your entire team from this passive, spectator mindset of, I'm just going to watch you win, to an active ownership mindset of, I create the win. That's the real journey, from borrowed confidence to self-authored success. So that brings us to the mandate, the call to action for every single leader and HR professional watching this. How do you actually make this happen? Well, here are 3 real, concrete actions you can take. First, start trying to measure self-belief, not just employee engagement. Ask yourselves, are people really owning their work? Second, normalize identity-level coaching. Make it a standard part of professional development, not just something you do when there's a problem. And third, be intentional and active about shifting your team's culture from one of just watching to one of creating. This all really boils down to one central question, one you should be asking not just of your team, but of yourself. Who are you when the likes stop coming, when the praise fades away, and when no one is watching? The answer to that? That's the true source of confidence. Let's just end with this thought. Borrowed confidence, it's fragile. It creates this kind of loyalty that looks amazing when times are good, but it shatters under real pressure.
It's the self-authored belief, the stuff that's built from within, that gives people and whole organizations the resilience to get through any challenge.